What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? It's your boy Trix, the sports junkie. Welcome to the NBS Show. Of course, I got my brother with me, man. That he didn't let his eyes deceive him before the national championship game. He went with what his eyes told him, regardless of what Dan Hurley, brings to the table. What up, C man?
Wow, what's the deal, man? Let's see the trendsetter, aka the whole damn show. I'm here, so you already know we can begin. Let's get it.
It's all good, man. So, of course, we're going to get to the national championship game between Michigan and UConn. Box office should be pulling up real soon. Maybe we'll get a surprise guest. I'm going to call him a surprise guest. Jay Franchise. He said he's going to come through, but we'll see. But see, we're going to start somewhere else because they're not here. And I know box office is not the biggest fan, but he's missing out. Do you want to start with the Angel Reese news, or do you want to start with the national championship game?
I mean, we gotta start. We gotta start with the national champions, bro.
Okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean? And we're gonna start with the women, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get it, man. So, full disclosure, I didn't watch the entire game.
Oh man, come on, see.
I didn't watch the entire game, but I did watch highlights, and I know it got ugly.
Yeah.
It's something that you don't expect from a South Carolina team to end up getting blown out in the natty.
Right.
So I know you watched the entire game, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's start with I want to go back to last year. Last year, South Carolina got blown out by UConn.
Yeah.
But UConn was low. They had Paige Buckers, which we understand what she brings to the table. They knocked off South Carolina. Well, this year, South Carolina, I'm definitely going to get your thoughts about what I'm about to say. And I know what Dawn Staley came out and said, but we're going to get our thoughts on that. But so South Carolina comes out, they have to play UConn in the Final Four to start before they even get to the national championship game.
Right.
Bro, that game was fire.
Yeah.
That game was fire. Put it on TikTok out there. I put a little video out there on all social media outlets. Man, I think that, Strong and Fudge struggling from the field really hurt UConn because they went like 7 for 31. Give credit to South Carolina's defense because we're not going to do that. But overall, South Carolina won that game. And then I'm gonna come back to that game in a second. Then Texas and UCLA was lit as well. But UCLA pulls it out at the end. So then we get UCLA versus South Carolina. Now, before I get to that, but go back a bit, because I know you want to talk about it. Maybe we'll come back around. I don't know how you want to do it. But after South Carolina knocks off UConn, Gino is tripping. I'm a Gino fan.
Boy.
And look, see, I watched it, and I was like, Sarah Strong, she tore her jersey. During the game, I'm watching and saying,
Bruh.
I don't know what Gino is making up. I'm like, bruh, what is he talking about? I have no idea what he was talking about. And so he was upset. So say, because they didn't call a foul going into the fourth quarter whenever he thought her jersey got torn. But she tore it right after the play because she took a bad shot. Let's just call it a spade a spade. He ends up not shaking Dawn Staley's hand. Well, he shakes it, but he tells her something obviously that got her hot. So they had a little back and forth. The media went crazy. Dawn Staley came out yesterday, I believe, and said, we talked. Give Gino a pass. But are you giving Gino Auriemma a pass?
Hell no. No, bro. First off, bro, you was tripping completely. Number one, because like you said, she tore her own jersey. And I almost want to give him a pass for that because maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he just saw her jersey tore. But you saw him when he got the sideline interview?
Yeah, he was just tripping.
Yeah, like it just seemed like he couldn't have solved it. He
Right,
just
right,
maybe assumed.
right,
Maybe he assumed that it was it got torn by one of the South Carolina players because upon further review, he literally tore her jersey. You know
right,
what I mean? But I can give him a pass for that. But for the after the game thing, bruh, 2 words: sore loser, bruh. You can't act like that. If you win, you have to be gracious in your wins, but you also have to be gracious in your loss. Y'all won every game this season previous to this
right,
one.
right,
Now, I'm sure you didn't get every call in those games, but you didn't go around there acting like that after the game to them when you won. And
right,
the whole made up thing about she didn't shake my hand before the game, and is video evidence showing her shake his hand and all of the UConn coaches' hands previous to the game is just it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous, and I thought there was I'm Gino is maybe the greatest women's coach in history, right?
right,
But I can't remember what year it was. This is his first time crying after a loss. You know what I mean? And blaming refs or blaming this, blaming that, instead of blaming yourself. You're the
right,
coach. Take responsibility. And that's hard to see a great coach like him do that. I thought that was a weak move. I thought that was a weak move. And it was hilarious how Don Staley responded to him. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, he don't know who he messing with. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was even said, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Yeah, she said, I beat Gino ass. I said, bro, yep. I said, I can understand her saying that. And the thing about it is, she probably believes that. But
Right,
that's still a man. That's still a
right,
man, dog. Calm down. But you know what I'm saying? She had all the black woman energy. You can't cross a black woman like that, man, and
right,
disrespect her in front of all these people and think she's not gonna go off the handle, bruh.
right.
Luckily, thank God, um, I forgot. I don't know who the assistant coach was for
Hmm.
UConn. Came and got Gino and got in between them because that could have gotten ugly really quick,
Right,
and that would have really marred the whole thing. And I'm glad that that didn't happen. And it made me even happier that South Carolina beat them because he acted like that.
right,
And I just thought that was unbecoming of not only a Hall of Fame coach, a male coach, to a female coach. I thought that was totally out of line. And I could see if he had an argument and she had actually done something, but she didn't do anything. It was just
right,
him. It was just him tripping, being a sore loser. He had no evidence. He had no evidence to back up his claims to make him look like he actually had a reason for acting like that. And that was really sad to watch because if you do follow any kind of college basketball, you've heard the name Gino Auriemma.
right,
He's right up there with Coach K, Dean Smith, all of them. He's one of those names. So for him to act like that, that was that was a weak move, bro. What they say, weak sauce? Yeah, that was weak sauce, bro. Weak sauce. I
well,
was very disappointed in him.
well, according to him, he tried to say like, and I don't know because I'm not at the Final Four, right? I'm not at these Final Four games. He said that yes, they did shake hands, but then supposedly they're supposed to go back, just the head coaches, and shake hands right before the game, and she didn't come back. But my thing is this:
Boy,
had
shut
they
your
Had they won, because I'm in agreement with you. Had they won, would you have acted like that? Had UConn won that game, had you acted like that, just basically take that moment away from your players and do what you just did? I don't think so. And what's crazy is I actually saw something, and now that I saw it today, I kind of remember. But him and Pat Summit, the legendary Pat Summit,
Yeah.
God rest her soul, they didn't like each other either.
Yep. You're right.
So even Candace Parker has came out and said, like I could be professional, but I'm not a biggest fan of Gino either.
Yeah.
So something's there. I don't know what it is. Gino is a great coach. We don't take nothing from him, but you can be great at your job and still not be a great human being. I'm not saying he's not a great human being. I'm just saying, put in perspective that you can be great at a particular job, but that doesn't make you a great human being. And we have to remember that these coaches, these players, these famous people that we see on TV or on social media, just because they look cool or they are successful doesn't mean that they're great people. And I hate to do that because I'm with C. I thought he was a sore loser. I thought he was very upset that they lost the game. He was complaining about the officiating in that game. But if you watch the game, dog, South Carolina outplayed them. They were a better team.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. This wasn't like one bad call cost us the game.
right,
This
right,
wasn't that. This was
right.
y'all lost by what, like 9,
12 or
12?
14. It was like so.
Yeah, bro. This literally wasn't even close. So you just actually crying because you're a sore loser. It's not no other way to put it.
And I,
You
I
can't.
honestly, I think it's gonna hurt his recruit. I know it's gonna sound crazy, and people are gonna say X you out. I think this is. I'm not saying they won't be good next year or the year after, but I think this is the beginning of the end of UConn's reign. Now, I know people have talked about in the past saying South Carolina's already coming. They're coming. They're the team now. You see, UCLA just won it, but now I think that at the end of the day, kids are watching. They watching. How you gonna tell? And I hate them. I'm not even trying to make it about race because I saw Asia Wilson's, her little interview where she said, I wanted to go to North Carolina, but I couldn't turn down Dawn Staley, a black woman. Well, now, the way Gino acted, how you gonna go in a black young lady's house in a living room and recruit her and get her over Dawn Staley now just about the way you acted? I don't know. I think he took a UConn and him took a gut punch with that situation. And even though Dawn Staley said let's forgive him, and I'm all for forgiving,
Yeah.
but I just think it's going to hurt him in the long run. Now to the game. Oh, unless you want to rebuttal that real quick.
Yeah. Let me my rebuttal. I actually don't think that it'll really hurt his recruiting. I think it was a moment. I think it was a
Right.
moment, and that's how everybody will view it. And I mean, if you want to be real about it, he's been able to recruit not only black players, but like the best white white.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like he's able to find these white hooper little girls when nobody else can find them. Like you could just kind of go down the line and pay for being the latest. You know what I
Right,
mean? It seems like every year he has one of those. He has a now, no disrespect when I'm saying little white girl, but I'm 47, so they're all little girls.
right,
He finds like a white girl who hoop and
right.
they go absolutely crazy in the tournament and they're like one of the best players in their draft that year. Every year. So I think that Don Staley, Don Staley is always going to be in the recruit. Her track record shows, but his shows as well. His is like I do bring this up a lot. I say, you know, the kids these days they don't care about all the old people, all those uh oh yeah, we were real cold in the night. They don't remember what I run. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I think that Don Staley is the new hotness. You know what I'm saying? So they South Carolina win every year. They're looking at South Carolina in the Final Four every year. UConn is there, but when you got a coach that's fresh, Don Staley, hell on the sideline. You know what I mean? They look
Right.
at and you have her right there, have, and you have Gino just he's going strictly off track record. So his track record, luckily he is good, and they don't have any down. They don't have down. This is a down for UConn.
Right.
They got eliminated in the Final Four. You know what I mean? That's if you lose it, if that's your, I'll take. You know what I mean? I'll take that. If me losing in the Final Four is a downhill for me, I'll take it. But I really do think that I think he'll still be able to recruit. I don't see UConn falling off anytime soon. I just don't. Maybe when he retires, and if he doesn't set him up like Coach K set up Duke, maybe then, as long as he's there, I think he has the cachet to still pretty much any girl in the country want to come to Duke. Now, whether they do
Okay.
or not, who knows?
Well, here's my question to you, not regarding that anymore, because you said how you feel, I feel the way I feel. But do you think that that incident dictated what happened in the game versus UCLA, where UCLA looked locked in from the jump, and South Carolina looked like they've been answering questions about Geno and Don Staley the last 2 days? Do you think that played a factor? Because that wasn't even a close game. I mean, UCLA destroyed South Carolina.
Yeah,
Do you
I'm
think it played a factor?
I'm not sure, bro. I was actually going to ask you that because I know it had to have some kind of effect. Like you said, they've been asking her questions about Geno. They had a whole other game to go, and
Right.
you know Don Staley is a professional, so I'm sure she was locked in. But you got some girls in there that's that's amped up, and they wanted to defend their coach. So, and I think mainly her coming out talking about we got to forgive Gino was to try to get her team back focused on that and not focus on the game ahead of head and not on that Gino situation anymore. Because I mean, we coach, you know our players will go hard.
Right.
So imagine how those young ladies have to go hard for John. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So they probably could make it want to do an interview. You had to tell them no, no, chill out, and they wanted to go hard and they couldn't. So I mean, it's a lot of things that could be taken into account to why they lost by 30.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, bro. It was terrible. The game was terrible. I do want to say shout out to Coach Corey Close and the UCLA Bruins, bruh. They came prepared. They came sleeves up, ready to fight. Lauren Betts, who was actually the MVP of the Final Four, bruh. There's one play that really stands out for me. She had a double double, but Raven Johnson. If anybody watches South Carolina, you know who Raven Johnson is. She's like their leader of South Carolina, and Raven Johnson was on a 3-on-2 fast break versus UCLA, and Lauren Betts was one of the people that got back on that fast break, bro. And they wanted no parts of Lauren Betts, bro. They pulled the ball back out, bro. When I saw that, I said, "Yeah, they're not coming back. They're not beating this UCLA team, bro." So shout out to Kiki Rice. Shout out to Jaquez Betts, Coach Close. But they pulled it off, man. And Coach was there for 15 years, bro. 15 years. We talk about how people get rid of coaches. They gave her 15 years. and she finally gets the dub. Senior led team, all five of them was in double digits. They're gonna lose everybody. So the chance of them repeating is probably slim to none unless they get some transfer girls to come there. But I'm very happy for them. I just wish it would have been a much better game because it was over from the very beginning, bro. UCLA outscored. I want to let me put this in perspective, but they play 4 quarters in women's. It's not like boys where they play a
Yeah.
half, right? So South Carolina, bro, they're high in the first 3 quarters was 13 points, bro. They had 10, I believe 9 and 13. Or 10, 13, 9. It was something like that. Bruh, UCLA was scoring 25, 30. I'm like, bro, this is insane, bro. They were basically doing double every quarter what South Carolina did, except for the 4th quarter. But the game was over at the beginning of the 4th quarter. You're like, they're not coming back. There's no chance. So yeah, congratulations to Coach Close and the UCLA Bruins.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Shout out to you know the uh the national champions, and UCLA is now a perennial powerhouse in ladies basketball. So maybe they're um, maybe they're taking off on a new lead. They won before the quarter to get back to relevant in in basketball. So maybe they're a girls basketball school now.
And it's their first ever since they started doing the tournament style.
Yeah,
First ever national championship, bro.
right. Man, gotta just like I said, man, just gotta give them their props for doing that thing, man. And just realize, watching my niece, Anna Lee, she joined us live on TikTok. And shout out my homie, Quincy, he checked in on us. Got a lot of people tuning in on the live. So, man, we're gonna keep going on with it, man. Ever, shout out to you, Joshua, um, IK Bella, Gabriel Tappy One. It's too many right now. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate them. Yeah, and we're gonna get to definitely. I know everybody wants to talk about the men's, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. I know box office about to pull up. We're gonna be talking about the NFL draft. But see, a
Oh,
train went down, my brother.
bruh,
A train went down, my brother.
switch that up for
And what's that?
switch up that pick for me, man. Bring Barbie Mill, man.
Hold on. You got the picture?
Add it to the stage.
Hold on. Let me see how I'm learning. He's showing me y'all how to do all this right now. Let me see how you do this.
Just like you bring one of us on, add it to the stage. It's down there.
Okay, let's see. It don't tell me which one it is though, brother.
You don't see it?
It's like it's all blank. All of them are blank. I can't see them.
Hold on. Okay, let me see. I might have to do it on my side.
But yeah. So a trade was made while she's doing that. My girl. My girl. The Bayou Barbie gets traded for 2 first-round picks. She's landing in, but she's going to the Atlanta Dream. You got the A-Town Barbie now.
Yeah,
Going to the Dream. See, what's your initial thoughts on that trade? That ain't now. The Dream did give up 2 first-round picks, and I do want to correct myself. I'll put it on TikTok this year and next year. It's actually next year and the year after draft, not this year. So, what's your thoughts?
man. F them, bro. Hey, man, they got him one. They got him one. And I think that's actually a match made in heaven.
I do too.
Um, her being in Chicago, I think that like I'm not a big WNBA viewer, but they already were complaining about how small how that was. It's a big market, Chicago, but it's the team is very a small market, like more like a small market team. They don't they don't have a history. They don't have viewership. They don't have people coming to the game. And how she was helping it for them, but she was doing a lot of complaining there, bruh. Her going to Atlanta, oh my god, bruh. That's where that's the, that's right up her alley. Cause she's a superstar. She's a superstar, not only in basketball, but her whole presence is a superstar presence. So she right there where a whole music industry is right now. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Where all the where all the black people go and thrive. You know what I mean? So now, one thing about Atlanta, if they have somebody to go out and support, they do. So I can guarantee you that they're going to be in those Atlanta games like they've never been before. Because for one thing, the men love her. The men love the men love Angel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you already
Right.
know that they're gonna be packed in the game just trying to see her. There's gonna be a new hangout spot to go to the game. I saw a podcast I watched. They were talking about it. It's based in Atlanta, and they was talking about how DC Young Clyde is basically the Spike Lee of Atlanta. He goes to all the house games, him and Booth. So they say he's like Spike Lee. And he said, man, I'm gonna have to go hit these green games. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Be Spike Lee there. Now, like I said, it's gonna be like a spot. Uh, and you know how they were trying to do the Magic City night at the Hawks game. They they might try to revisit it now because now I think that I actually think they put themselves to be in a position to be the most successful WNBA franchise financially
Hey,
because
I'm not mad at that.
those jerseys are gonna fly off the shelf.
They sold out. Her jersey sold out the
I
first
already,
day.
I already know, and it's gonna stay sold out. It's going to stay sold out. It's kind of like I was talking about. Well, we talked about the other day about why I would have drafted Bronny first if I had been in Atlanta because of this. Because of this, I wouldn't be surprised if the Green make more money than the Hawks.
Come on,
I would
man.
not be surprised. I would not be surprised, bro. Just this
You
one
know,
move. And
well,
they got another girl down there that's cool. I forgot her name.
Alicia Gray, a beast.
Yeah.
You got Ryan Howard, a beast, bro. They got Brittany Griner. She's a little older now, but Brittany Griner still,
I
gets a
think
lot of blocks.
on there.
Yeah, bro. They got Brianna Jones, bro. They got Canada. Like they got a good team. Put this in perspective for anybody out there. Now I know that there's some people like my dog box office who doesn't watch
He's
women's
adding
basketball.
on the thing. He say, "Y'all,
Oh, okay. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go.
right on
Hey,
time."
you came at the perfect time. I knew you wanted to talk women's basketball.
I was I was backstage. I was wondering what the hell are y'all talking about?
You
Hey,
see
but
that?
look, real quick, you know, put this in perspective. I know that, box office don't really watch this, and that's okay. But you may not like Angel Reese. But what I'm saying is the Dream was tied for the second best record in the league. Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard are buckets. Like they go get buckets. And guess what? Now if they miss a shot, they have a girl that led the WNBA in rebounds. And Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, go get buckets. Bruh, the Dream have set themselves up to not only be really good, they could be really dangerous. And they could win a WNBA title if Angel Reese keeps developing and keeps rebounding at the rate she has, because they are really good. This is something, and I know box office might lose his mind when I say this, but I know he's not big like the biggest. But this is kind of like when the Bulls got Dennis Rodman. They
Ah,
had Jordan and Pippen. They had Jordan and Pippen. They were straight. Now, and I know they had Horace Grant. See, I know. I'm just saying. But go and get the girl that leads the league in rebounding to go with two guys that can go get you a bucket. That's what it's kind of like. Alicia Gray, I want to say last year, she won the 3-point contest and she won the skills challenge. I think she was in the running for MVP in the All-Star game. If she didn't win, I don't really remember. I'm not gonna lie. But Alicia Gray's a bucket. And then Ryan Howard's definitely a bucket. So, like, bruh, they went 30 and 14 last year. I don't know what the Sky are doing. Some people saying Angel Reese asked for a trade. Dog. The Sky got rid of Teresa Weatherspoon, which I don't understand that move. Now they traded away Angel Reese. Della Don played over there. You got rid of her. I don't, bruh. Bruh, you hear the stories how bad their front office is, but man, they got to do better. But right now, Atlanta is putting themselves in prime position to be amongst the Las Vegas Aces, the New York Liberty, the Minnesota Lynx. They're in the cusp of maybe winning a championship, and dare I say, even more than one championship. So shout out to the Dream. I think, and I'm not just saying because it's Angel Reese and I love Angel Reese and she went to LSU. I'm really saying it's a great fit. That's the team that needed to go get her. They went get her, and it's gonna be scary in the W next year if all those girls can stay healthy.
so basically they gave up 2 picks for her, 2 number 1 picks,
Right.
and you think that was a good move?
Yeah, because the Dream are one of the best teams. You're getting the this year without Angel Reese, they have the 13th pick in the draft. Like I'm sitting there like, if they win the chip, you're gonna get the last pick in the draft in the first round.
Yeah.
That means nothing. Like in girls and women's basketball, you may not make the team if you're the last pick in the first round. So they really didn't give up much if the Dream were as good as I think they're gonna be. Now, if they was getting a number 1 overall pick and they can land Juju Watkins, yeah, if they package those picks and get Watkins, then hey, but they gotta get their front office together. They might package all their picks and try to get Sarah Strong, try to get Juju down the line. But they got to figure it out because right now, I'm just sitting back and shaking my head. And I know that, people don't like to hear this. The number 1 followed player in the WNBA in social media is Angel Reese. Why are
That's,
you trading that away?
and keep nothing. Like like you said, they got rid of Teaspoon last year, right? And I think that they were hot about it. I think she was mad about that. Like she likes him. So I just think that I think it was. Let me ask you this: who won the NBA championship last year?
The Aces won.
The Aces won it.
Yeah, they came. They won, bro. Before the Liberty won, and then this year the Aces, bro. Ain't not Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, bro. She started going crazy in the playoffs again, bro.
I didn't know that, bro. I thought
Yeah, they won, and they
oh,
swept the Mercury to win it.
so they done won 3 out of the last 4.
That was the Sun. I'm tripping the Sun, not the Mercury.
So they won
Yeah,
3 out of the last 4.
yeah, I'm trying to think. Hold on. I know the year before that, the Liberty won for sure because they
Right.
beat Minnesota. They probably did, yeah, because Vegas is nasty, bro. They're loaded, but they lost Kelsey Plum, last year. She was in LA. So they got Asia Wilson, so they're gonna be good regardless. But yeah, bro. The dream is right there. Trust me, the dream is right there. I wouldn't be mad if we actually covered the W and we picked the dream to win the championship. That's how good they are.
Yeah. I um I think it, let me ask you this. Who wins who wins the WNBA championship first? Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark?
Ooh, Kaylin Clark, bro. The Fever are good too. They're another team. Caitlin Clark wasn't healthy this past year like she should have been.
Yeah,
Bro, hey, you know what would be great for the well, oof. I'm gonna say Angel Reese just because I think that their team is just very well put together.
yeah, yeah. I think that's I concur with that. Because if you say they got these other good players and they brought in, that was a comparison to Dennis Rodman comparison.
Yeah.
So if it's anything like the Dennis Rodman comparison, I believe we're gonna do it. And obviously Atlanta believes in spending money in their front office is good too. So we'll
Bro,
see.
like everything's exploded for the Dream since they traded for her. Her jersey sold out. Their followers went up on social media. And I know that's not a big deal, but I mean, I guess it is in a sense to
Yeah, you
them.
talk money there.
But like the sky stuff is just like plummeting right now. It's like like bruh, people are unfollowing them. Their fan base is upset with the move. There's some people that supporting it. Of course, you get 2 first-round picks. So there is some people supporting it, but unless they flip it into something that's worthwhile, I don't understand the move. I don't.
Juju doesn't come out until next year, right?
Yeah, after next year. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll
Again.
see. We'll see. Box office, man. You don't want to chime in, man. I know it's your favorite sport, bro.
Come on, man. Come on. Uh, but real question: why did they trade Angel Reese though?
Well, the rumor is that she wanted to be traded. That's what they're trying to say, and they're giving her a hard time because last year, at the end of the year, she came out and said a couple of things about like basically about the franchise that we have to do better. And some people said when she said that she shouldn't have said that, so that was like maybe they'll trade for her. Somebody will trade they'll trade her to somebody. But what's crazy is Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray 2 weeks prior on Twitter was like, man, they had a picture of Angel Reese in a USA jersey. They were like, there's another red jersey you would look really good in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
so they already
something.
know what's up.
Yeah, they were recruiting her, bro. They were recruiting her to the Dream.
That's dope.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's good though. And that was a good question about talking because that's the first thing I was like, why would they besides them being a horrible franchise? Like when you have the only thing on your team that anybody knows or anybody will watch your team for, why would you do
Yeah, bro. It's interesting. You know you'll never know why. Maybe 20 years from now they'll maybe come out and say what happened, but as of now, Angel Reese said she never asked for a trade. She was cool staying there, but she's happy to be in Atlanta. So the Dream, look, man, it's gonna be lit in Atlanta. Like you said, see every rapper I see, every social media influencer is all excited about this move, and it's rightfully so because, like I said, they were 30-14 last year, second best record in the WNBA. They had the person that leads the league in rebound, and it only makes sense.
Yeah, man. And like I said, that's one of the things about Atlanta. They just looking for a new place to hang out, and that's where they're gonna be at, bro. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Like it excited me. Like I can't wait to actually visit Atlanta. And if I was just there during the off season for football in the NBA, I would go and visit. I mean, I would go to one of these WNBA games. Now, would I go to any other WNBA game? Absolutely.
The Fever versus the Dream. That's gonna be the one.
That's gonna
Caitlin
be
Clark and the Fever versus the Dream. Everybody's gonna be tuned in for that one.
that's gonna be the one, bro.
Well, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna get over because box office is here now. Of course, I'm gonna call my boy out, my brother out. He did something for us today to get this TikTok going, which we appreciate, Jay. But you said you was gonna be on it tonight, and you're flaking on us. But we're still gonna cover the national championship game, man. UConn versus Michigan. What were y'all thoughts on that game?
I'll go first. I had UConn winning. And I was definitely wrong. Michigan, man, I will say, deserved the national title. They were the best team all tournament. I mean, they destroyed everyone in their way. And obviously, they won this game by six at the end of the day. But to me, Michigan was better throughout the whole game. I
Right.
mean, they led from the jump, they led at half. And in the second half, they, if anything, stretched the lead. So UConn made a run in the end, but it was not enough, and it was too late. Um, Michigan shot better from neither team shot really well, but Michigan
Right.
shot better. And then a huge thing was the free throw difference. Connecticut got 16 free throws. Michigan got 28. A big reason for that is simply Michigan's style. Their 3 point shots were not going, and they just kept driving and driving and driving. Mara was huge once again. Um, we know Lindenberg was not 100%, but he was fit enough. Um, and like I said, their style was get to the free throw line or get in the paint. That was it, and then they kept pushing that. This is the first ever starting five that were all transfers the year before to win the national title, which is not surprising in this NIL era. Um, I said it when Michigan got Dusty May. That's a great hire, and it's worked out. And in his second year at Michigan, he won the national title. And I think until anything changes, he's probably going to continue relying on transfers. And most of these transfers were veterans in the college world. None of these guys were freshmen, all older guys. Cadu came from UNC, Lindenberg came from UAB, Johnson came from Illinois. So this was nothing but transfers, and it worked out, and they gelled well together. And they were the best team all tournament. So shout out to them. UConn, another great year though. I mean, this
Right.
is one of those UConn years that we not expect them to win the national title or even get this close. So I thought that was a huge accomplishment. Dan Hurley would have won 3 titles in 4 years, but I think this is still a good accomplishment. I still think he's the best coach in the country. So no shame to them. You're not going to win every national title. And what can you say? I thought Michigan deserved it. They lost in the Big Ten title game to Purdue, and sometimes those losses at the end of the year are the
Yep.
best. You can reset and you can start from scratch and realize that you are beatable. So it's like a fresh reset right before the tournament. But yeah, I thought the best team, which sometimes can, in the NFL and college basketball, the best team sometimes doesn't win simply because it's a 1 game elimination. But Michigan was the best team, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they were running through teams all year, ran through everybody in the tournament, and then you could tell was the better team against UConn. So, like I said, this is huge for Dusty May. He's going to continue building off this. Now transfers are going to see that they won that national title that they did and are going to say that blueprint worked. Why not do it again? Meanwhile, the Dukes and the Kentuckys and those type of blue bloods sometimes are relying on a lot of freshmen, which we've seen that work in the past, but it hasn't worked in a while. And obviously, you don't say no to a 5-star freshman that wants to come play for you. But maybe you take that 5-star freshman and you build nothing but other veterans around them. Maybe that's it in terms of freshmen that you do rely on. So shout out to Michigan, shout out to UConn as well. But I do think the best team won. And the last thing I was going to say is I came on here, before the game, and I said it's going to come down to rebounding. It did not come down to rebounding. UConn actually beat them on the boards. So I didn't see that style beating UConn, but it did. And Shout out to Michigan, man. They were the best team in the country.
Um, Trey McKee, freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts, huh?
Who's that?
Trey McKee.
He's a freshman, yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
hear what you said after that, but yeah, he's a freshman. What would happen?
He one of the starters, huh?
He what? Your phone broke up.
He's one of their starters.
yeah, he is, but
Yeah,
he's not. I don't know if he's a. He might be a freshman. Let me check.
yeah, he's a freshman.
Yeah,
He is a
he's a
freshman.
freshman. For sure
He's
he's on.
Yeah, but still, I don't. I don't think he was like Devonta level or like Boozer or anything like that. Like
He
he
was.
averaged 10 points a game. Like he's a solid player.
Yeah, he's one of them guys. Hey, like I said, let me just get into this before this game. Michigan showed how dominant they were by the way they whooped the leads off Arizona. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of set the table for like before the game, we were calling them the monster. And 5 minutes into the game, we were like, these boys, Audemars bars. And they looked physically dominant. And they would cover it up, blocking shots, and like redirecting the ball way over there somewhere, making them making it just seem like it wasn't close. You know what I mean? Even though the game was pretty much close for a majority. And I just looked at it as in a I just looked at it like Michigan. I didn't have any question that Michigan was gonna win the game with after about 10 minutes in the first half. When it was a few minutes left in the first half, I was like, yeah, Michigan's not gonna lose this game. Michigan's not gonna lose this game. I knew Connecticut was hanging around, and there's always that chance when you got somebody hanging around like that that you can blow it. And I was just like, man, are they gonna blow it? And they didn't. They did. And I was really, I was really happy to see them. Um, dang, what's my boy name? 23
You said 23 from UConn?
Michigan.
Yeah,
Yaxel
so yes,
Lindenberg.
boy.
He is the most honest player in in college basketball, bro. They interviewed him going into the half, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm playing like trash. Hopefully I can go in here and get it together and come back out and play." And he wasn't playing like trash. He just wasn't playing great. You know what I mean? And I guess maybe that was trash to him. You know what I mean? So I actually I actually enjoyed watching this entire game because I I did believe that Michigan was a better team going into the game, and they proved me right.
Wait, okay, yeah, for sure. I agree with you as far as them being the best team. They were definitely the best team in this tournament. You can go back to the round one all the way to the championship game, no doubt. But I will say this: when Gail missed the two free throws, dog, it was 63-67, and Caravan missed that three. Caravan hits that three, it's 66-67. Hey, bruh. Balls would start getting sweaty then. I was like, dog, if Caravan would have hit that three, I mean, I know it's a what if, but like, God, that would have been lit because I would have been like, now, Michigan, now you're being tested. Unfortunately, he missed the three. Michigan goes off, pulls it off. McKinney goes to the line. He just has this confidence about him. I knew he was going to make both shots. I was like, that fool ain't missing. He's going to make both of them things. He can both of them. Michigan ends up winning the game like they did. But after watching them against Arizona, I had no doubt that they were going to win the national championship. And it was no knock to Hurley because I'm a big Hurley fan. But like we said, they look like the Monstars, bro, out there, bro. They literally look like the Monstars. And that's like crazy. And I want to say congratulations to Dusty May, the Michigan Wolverines, their fan base. I know Antonio's a Michigan fan. Shout out to him for winning the bracket challenge. Um, Box office, I don't know what you was thinking that putting Michigan in the Final Four. I had to take a little stab at you just because you disrespected them. But even though they were the best team, I am somewhat shocked because I thought Michigan would make it to the Final Four, but I didn't think they would win it. But after watching them, like y'all said, best team for sure in this tournament. So congratulations to them.
And,
Yeah,
and how about the Big Ten?
Oh God, bro, you're not even a Big Ten fan.
I'm not.
Why are you doing this?
I don't root for conferences,
Well,
but
why is I?
because the SEC when they won those 6, 7 national titles, all it was, well, the big SEC, the big SEC. So we
You
gotta
know,
get
everybody.
we gotta keep that energy for the Big
Hey,
Ten.
everybody in TikTok that's tuned in, he's a Texas fan, y'all. He's a SEC guy. He gotta stop. You gotta stop this.
I root for Texas. I hope everyone else in the SEC fails. Like, look, we got to give the Big Ten credit. I think the most credit goes to their commissioner. You know, I forgot their commissioner's name, but the Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, is always talking big cash money.
As he
And,
should. Why
and
wouldn't you rep for your way? What you work for? That's
no,
what you
no,
work
no.
for.
He was being cocky, and they have not been good at all recently.
Not
Football
good. Not good at all. And I think you're being
in
disrespectful.
terms of
hold.
titles. In
Let him dig
terms
the
of
hole. I'm
titles.
gonna put some dirt on him in a second.
Go ahead.
What happened?
No, I just said go ahead and dig the hole, man. I'm gonna put the dirt on you in a second. Go ahead.
No, my thing is, what you're doing is, I understand. Hey, kudos to the Big Ten. I'm not even mad at you. I actually agree, like in the sense of they've been doing very well in college sports. But we're not gonna sit up here and act like the SEC still hasn't put in the most teams in college basketball, March Madness, the playoff. Like the SEC is still doing a good job. They're the champs in baseball. South Carolina is a stud in college basketball. No, I'm just women's basketball. I know you was gonna say, "Oh, that's women's." It's sports that you don't
But
care about.
I think that hurts the argument. They had the most teams in March Madness, the most in the college football playoff, and they don't even get any team in a final.
But
They haven't
according,
won. The
but
football is their thing. They haven't won a national title there in 4 years. The Big Ten's won 3 straight. Then we go to the women's wins the women's basketball. The men's wins the men's basketball. Then I hear they have the #1 team in college baseball currently. So we got to give them a credit. Tony Petitti, that's their commissioner's name. Tony Petitti has clearly said we want to be the premier conference. They invested in more teams years ago when they were trying to build up the conference even more. So you got to give them credit. All I'm saying is
but
the Big Ten runs sports right now.
but this is what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm gonna let C go in a second. Definitely kudos to them. They're winning all these championships for sure. But nobody ever like poo pooed on the Big Ten. Like if you really ask people, probably like the last 20 years is the SEC and the Big Ten, and then it's everybody else. I know we have the Power Four. I get it. But we understand the 2 best conferences, and I'll give the Big Ten their credit right now. But to your credit, you just said that the SEC had the most teams in the tournament. They did. But none of us thought that they were the best team in the tournament. None of us thought that. Even though they may have the most teams that are good, nobody sat back and said, you know what? That SEC team's going to win it all this year
But
in
no,
like
none
college.
of us had a Big Ten team win it either.
That is true. That is true.
You
I had
know,
Duke,
and right,
but I did have Michigan in the Final Four though.
I'm just saying, like we got to give them the credit. Like they've clearly invested the best way, and it looks like ever since we can actually pay players, the Big Ten pays the best and does it the best.
And I want to add one more thing to what you're saying, as far as what you used to say. I'm gonna say something you used to say. You used to be like, "Bro, the SEC is not even that good. It's really just Alabama." And then you said Georgia.
Well, that was true.
Okay, with a Big Ten, I can say the same thing. It's Ohio State and Michigan. After them, I know UCLA won the girls, but you
Indiana
don't,
football.
huh?
Now
Indiana
Indiana
has
football
gotten
become a
good now.
powerhouse.
Yeah,
Now it's
Indiana.
really their powerhouse.
Hey, Indiana has got good, but for the most part, it's Michigan, Ohio State that's really carried that flame for the last forever.
Well, I'll
Hold up.
disagree. Not in basketball. In basketball, Michigan State was their best one.
Well, Michigan State
Purdue.
hasn't won since 2000. Like, what are we
No, but
talking?
I'm saying they were always in the mix. Purdue went to national title game
They
a
did,
couple
they
of years
did, they
ago.
did, they did, they did.
Indiana now is a powerhouse in football. They like
It
current.
ain't Indiana. It's Kirk Signetti's a powerhouse.
I mean, it has to start somewhere.
It
Hold on,
does,
hold on,
it
hold on,
does.
hold on. So, by your standards, you're saying the SEC isn't good?
No, I'm just saying that it's not the best conference in sports anymore.
Okay, and that's when you're only basing this off of the last three national champions
Last 2 3 years, I'm just saying best conference in general. Right.
conference. The
Right.
conference has 18 teams in the in the Big Ten.
Well,
16
the SEC has 16.
SEC has 16. So out of all of those teams, you're saying that the conference is better, or did they just have the best team that year?
No, they have the best conference.
Okay, so let's go numbers. All right, so we'll look at the top teams in the SEC and the bottom teams in the SEC, and the top teams in the Big Ten, bottom team in the Big Ten. So as we will go, what do we do? We go football. That's only, let's just keep it real. The only time anybody says anything about the SEC being the best has been football. Nobody talks about the SEC basketball. That's cute that you're trying to bring that up like that's something that anybody's ever said, but it ain't true. Anybody always talk about the SEC football. So Michigan winning it means nothing because, like you said, they have any SEC team people win it because nobody cares about the SEC basketball. But so we'll say football. We'll just say football. The last three winners of the national championship have been Big Ten teams. But how has the rest of the conference versus the rest of the conference of the SEC fared? Let's just be real about that.
Okay. What numbers you got?
Okay, so I'll look at
Y'all
the top,
crazy.
the top teams in the SEC this year. Football.
Ole Miss.
We got Ole Miss was 13-2. Georgia was 12-2. Texas A&M was 11-2. Just go top five. Alabama was 4. Texas was 10-3. Right? So
Right.
Big Ten. So we got 16-0 national champion, Indiana Hoosiers. Then you got Ohio State 12-2, Oregon 2. Then fourth 9-4 USC. Fifth 9-4 Michigan Wolverine. Right. So the that's the top five teams That's the top 5 teams in both of them. And our bottom team, our worst, our number 5 team was 10-3. Their number 5 team was 9-4. Am I right?
Yeah, but what I would look at is the way I determine it. So I looked it up. I'll go last 3 years because that's what I was talking about. So not only do they have the last three champions, you kind of get like double the points if you have the best team, but also head to head in the last 3 years, the Big Ten, it's not dominant, but they're winning. They are 12-11 against the SEC. But like I said, okay, that's one win. But like I said, when you have also the last three champions, and then we add on these other sports, I just think at that point it's like not even close.
But what I'm saying is nobody even says anything about the SEC except for football. And I just went to the top 5, right?
Yeah,
Top
but I think they're better in football too.
the top five, the SEC worst team, and the top 5 is 10-3. And then if we go to the next 5, we got Oklahoma 10-3, Vanderbilt 10-3, Missouri 8-5, Tennessee 8-5. Then we go to the Big Ten, and this is where you see the big fall off. You got Iowa 9-4, Washington 9-4, Illinois 9-4, Minnesota 8-5. So the next 5 SEC teams had 10 wins. None of the next 5 had double digits for the Big Ten. It's the conference as a whole is what I'm trying to explain to you. And even if you want to go down to the bottom teams, the worst teams in both conferences ended up 2-10.
Well, you're going off of regular season, all right? They played in the bowl games, and the Big Ten was 3-0. Okay, 3-0. Simple.
Yeah.
Like they beat them 3-0. I mean, I don't know. Like, do we go by regular season? Do we go by the national champ? Do we go by head to head? Anywhere I go, pretty much it signals the Big Ten.
Except for the entire conference. When you talk about an entire conference, nobody wants to play SEC team. Still.
Well, the Big Ten did, and they're 3-0.
Okay, I'm talking about one conference.
But Indiana beat 2 of those. Well, was it 2? Well, 1 for sure.
Yeah,
They beat Alabama.
but all I'm saying is the bowl game too. How do you get to the bowl?
Illinois beat Tennessee. Iowa beat Vanderbilt, and Indiana beat Alabama.
Yeah.
How do you get to the bowl game?
How do you what? You're cutting off.
How do you get to those bowl games?
By winning at least 6 games.
In the regular season, correct?
Right.
SEC put more teams in bowl games than the Big Ten did, right?
I mean, I just don't. I don't know. Like, who cares? They so that defeats the point. They put in more teams in the playoff and in the bowl games, and still had less wins than the Big Ten. That proves my point. Like,
no, it doesn't.
give me quality over quantity.
No, man, because you're still talking about quantity. If we're going by what you're saying, we're still going by quantity. You keep telling me that, okay, that's numbers, that's quantity. Okay, so my quantification comes from the conference as a whole, not the top heavy. I'm not going with the top heavy. The top. Let's see the top 3 teams in the Big Ten.
Well, they got Indiana, the champ, Ohio State. Yeah.
Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon. So that's very top heavy on that part. But when you continue to go throughout the conference, it gets a lot more geared toward the SEC as a whole. That's what the big boys.
I mean, I don't know. Depending on what, like Illinois beat Tennessee, Iowa beat Vandy, who people thought Vandy was great, and Diego Pavia and all them played in that game and got their ass whipped by Iowa.
Okay, all right. Vanderbilt was eighth. Let's see, 3, 4, 5.
Y'all okay? So my thing is, y'all don't think that like my thing is I get where both of y'all are coming from. Like, see, you're saying from top to bottom, the SEC is still the best conference because everybody's good in the SEC, and
Right.
you're saying box office that that the Big Ten has been the most dominant conference as far as winning championships, as far as football and basketball is concerned.
And head to head, they're whipping
Yeah.
their ass.
But okay, but I'm saying
But that just means matchups, bro.
there's so many like okay, like and I know like I said, I know that, I don't watch everything as far as like all the other sports. And I know you're gonna be like, well, that's not but if we're talking baseball, the SEC owns baseball. It's not even close. I think the last 5 national championships team coming from the SEC. So like so what I'm saying is if you're just talking about one sport, yeah, then that's fine. You can say well the Big Ten is the best in football right now. But that don't mean they're the best conference in every other sport. In football, yeah, right now they have 3 of the last national championships in
Well,
three
I do think
sports.
they're the best overall because look, like I said, they won men's and women's basketball, they won football, they won a hockey, and now they're number one in baseball.
But they
Like,
have to win it. Being number one don't make you win the
okay, but they
championship.
won it in 4 other sports.
Right. Okay. 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 So let
And
me
he
give
is the one that said, "Okay, let's just focus on football," and they
let,
and they
let
won that the last 3
no,
years
I agree
too.
with you as far as football, but let me give you the and I'm not I mean I don't like I just said I don't think you're wrong if you're just talking football. Let me give you the SEC's resume if you want to talk about baseball. The last I think 5 national championships. SEC got all 5 of them. Women's basketball, South Carolina is a premier powerhouse, and they won one in the last 3 years. You got Florida who won the national championship last year in basketball. I'm just sitting there saying like you're acting like the SEC, like the Big Ten is way above the SEC, and the SEC is like the Big 12 or something. I'm like, no, it ain't like that.
No,
It's just like right now they're the dogs in football. I give them the credit in football. In football right now, as much as I love LSU, as much as I like to watch SEC football. I'm not gonna take nothing away from what the Big Ten's done. Indiana was the best team. Ohio State, you could make a case was the second best team, even though they lost to Miami. And I know Miami, you can make a case Miami was one of the better teams. Miami's not in the SEC. So I get what you're saying.
yeah, and even last year, look at what Ohio State did in the playoff. They beat SEC Tennessee, SEC Texas, SEC. I forgot who else they beat. I know they beat Notre Dame in the national title game, but it's just if football is their thing, they got to pick it back up because they're losing head to head and they're not winning national titles. And one more thing, when the SEC was winning all those national titles, no one ever brought up, oh, but the SEC has the 12th best team. They,
He's
they
right about that.
they just kept
Actually
saying
did.
that's 4 straight, that's 5 straight,
No,
that's 6 straight.
no,
I said,
no, no,
okay,
no,
so let's do the same
no,
thing here.
no, absolutely wrong. Everybody always say you don't want to play an SEC team. It wasn't just because of the national champion. It was because the SEC, because of every team in the SEC, if you played them, you had an ass whooping on your hand. And that's how it was, and that's how it still is.
It's
Nobody
not like that anymore. Illinois and Iowa want to play these scrubs, and they be whipping them too. Houston is beating up on LSU, big LSU.
Hey. That's a bowl game. Calm down. That's not the regular season. We're not doing that.
I
All
mean,
right.
come on, man.
So let me let's just go down the line real quick. All right. So this past season, best record in SEC went to Ole Miss, Indiana. Everybody take Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Second best record in the Big Ten. I made a mistake. is Ohio State. Ohio
What's up?
State plays Georgia. Who we take?
The Buckeyes.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Don't
Yeah.
get mad at that. Don't know.
All right.
Well, Ohio State was better than Georgia this year.
Hey,
They both were
hey.
12-2.
I mean, you got to pick one. I think Ohio State was better.
I ain't gonna just get in there.
I
All
will.
right.
I'll give it to them. Let's for your argument. I'll give. Let's just go Buckeyes. Go ahead.
All right. Third, Oregon versus Texas A&M.
Oregon.
No, I take A&M. I think Oregon's
Yeah.
fraudulent,
There's no chance.
and I'm not even an A&M guy. I don't even like A&M like that.
Yeah,
Who did A&M beat last year?
Notre Dame.
That's it, and they didn't even make the playoff.
Yeah, but Notre Dame. I would if they played Oregon. I would have picked Notre Dame to beat them too.
They didn't make the playoffs.
No, but I'm saying that's just by their own doing. As far as one of the better teams, Notre Dame was one of the better teams last year.
And if I remember, Oregon only had 2 losses, and that was both to the champs.
That is true. That is true.
Like
Oregon beat?
everyone but Indiana.
Who did they beat? What's their victory? That victory they had to stand on.
I'm trying to remember who they played. I know they beat Iowa.
They beat USC. They beat USC. I mean,
they beat Texas Tech, a playoff team.
Yeah, they did beat Tech. They did beat Tech.
So probably Texas Tech was their best win.
But you would say you would agree that A&M had a better win, though.
But Texas Tech made the playoffs.
But I'm saying, who you think is a better team? Notre Dame. I know because Notre Dame hurt themselves by not being in a conference. But do you think that Notre Dame's not better than Texas Tech last year?
I probably would pick Notre Dame to beat Texas Tech, but the thing is, one made the playoffs and the other didn't. And so I got to go off facts and not hypotheticals in that.
The game is a hypothetical. I'm just asking who's the better team.
But the fact is that one made the playoffs.
Okay. So I ask you this: So I'm saying this:
your money on the
Tulane made the playoffs. Texas didn't. If they played, who's going to win that game?
Texas, but
that's what I'm saying.
Power 4 school.
But that's what I'm saying. It's off a technicality. Notre Dame couldn't make it based off of a technicality. But I'm saying Notre Dame was definitely one of the best 12 teams.
We can disagree, but I think Oregon was better than A&M.
I don't think A&M has, bro.
All right. So now we're at 4th. So you taking Alabama, or you taking USC?
I'm taking Alabama. And I'm not even Alabama. Y'all know I can't stand Alabama.
I'll take Alabama.
Okay, so you're going to take Alabama. All right, so you're taking Michigan
or Texas.
You Texas.
Texas.
They played in the bowl game.
So
Texas won.
So there you go.
Right.
All right. That's the 5th. Okay, so you're taking Oklahoma or Iowa.
Come on, man. Based on what you just said, it has to be Oklahoma.
Take Oklahoma, yeah.
Okay. So you're taking a Washington Huskies or Vanderbilt.
I'm taking
Washington.
Come on, box office, man.
Iowa. Okay, so you're telling me Washington is ranked ahead of Iowa, and Iowa beat Vandy, right? Okay, got my answer. See. Okay, I just proved y'all wrong.
Okay, so if we're going by rankings, you just gonna go by rankings, or you gonna go by who you would actually pick in a game?
That's what I'm saying. Who would you pick?
Iowa beat Vandy, and Iowa worse than Washington.
Come on, man.
Okay, we got to stick by the facts. So I get
that. That's a fact. You're not giving me facts.
I did, and we still haven't even gotten to Iowa. So I guess Iowa's going to beat whoever y'all say next because they're below Vandy, right?
What? Don't, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. And I still got Illinois that beat Tennessee. So continue on, see.
Go ahead.
Illinois versus Missouri.
Illinois.
And we had already did Iowa, right?
No,
Yeah,
we
did
didn't.
Iowa.
See how deep the Big Ten is? We still got Iowa.
No, we already did Iowa.
Against who? No, we didn't. Or no, we did them against Alabama, I guess.
No, we did
No.
Iowa. Iowa won against.
We didn't pick Iowa yet.
Against who?
Wasn't Iowa against 1, 2, 3?
Michigan was against Texas.
Yeah, Michigan was against Texas. I know that.
Okay, so the next one, Iowa. Iowa's against Oklahoma.
Didn't we do Oklahoma? We did
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
that's why I said you have to pick
Yeah.
Oklahoma because by what you said, they made the tournament. They made the playoff.
But we did that one, right?
Yeah, but I don't know who you picked against Oklahoma. I forgot. No, I think it was Oklahoma. No, yeah, it was. I think it was Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
Oklahoma and Iowa, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll take Illinois over Missouri. Illinois was an underrated team.
No.
Okay, so now we got
He's gonna be a hater regardless when it comes to LSU. He's gonna say LSU lost to
I mean,
Houston.
come on, they're
Yeah.
pathetic.
all right. Tennessee versus Minnesota.
Come on, bro. Come on, box office, bro. You a hater.
I guess I'll give it the shitty Tennessee.
Okay, so Nebraska.
Oh, now he's gonna hype Nebraska. Oh, I know he's
versus who?
LSU.
bro. Don't do that,
Definitely the Cornhuskers. Y'all can't beat Houston.
bro. And nobody played.
That's not my fault. Y'all ass.
Bro, you're crazy, bro. You are wild.
Y'all are ass. I mean, y'all had 0 impressive wins.
And you're gonna pick us to make the playoffs this year.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you will.
No, I'm not. Y'all ass.
You picked us last year to make the playoffs.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
All right, so you got Kentucky versus Northwestern.
Come on, man. Come on, Box.
I guess Kentucky.
Why? All right, both teams are terrible. Why'd you pick Kentucky?
Because they played tougher teams harder. Like Northwestern would just get destroyed. Right. Kentucky, for example, took Texas to overtime.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Y'all neither one of y'all are wrong. I get why both of y'all are saying what y'all saying.
All right. So next you got UCLA.
Oh, now you know you can't say them. Box up. You say UCLA, I might flip the table that my phone is on.
UCLA versus Florida.
Bro, come on. Florida stinks.
Was ass.
But they're better than UCLA.
Give me the Bruins.
Oh, shut up, man.
Bro,
the box office. Florida beat Texas. Florida beat Texas.
Y'all are going off just name, bro.
They beat Texas.
UCLA beat a healthy Penn State.
Bro, come on. Penn State.
Penn State was healthy. Florida's ass.
Florida's better than UCLA. You are wild. You are wilding right now.
Didn't Florida lose to USF?
They lost to South Florida.
Who's got better talent? Yeah, if South Florida or UCLA.
I take Florida all day. UCLA, you tripping?
UCLA would beat South Florida, so I'm going UCLA.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Texas would beat UCLA, right?
Texas would beat UCLA.
And Florida beat Texas, right?
I mean, we could do that all day long. I mean
you did that.
Okay, who would y'all pick? Who would y'all pick? LSU versus Iowa.
LSU.
Oh,
healthy. Everybody playing LSU.
Okay, but LSU lost to Vanderbilt, who lost to Iowa.
Man,
right? If y'all want to go by who beat
don't start that. Don't do that. Don't do
You the one who started that. You started that. So I don't know about your life.
No, South Florida is not a Power 4 school.
But they were good last year. We're not doing that.
I'm just saying, like.
Oh man, you are wild, bro. Hey, let's get to these receivers since we're in college, bro.
Yeah,
let's
man.
let's
Let's
do
talk
top
about the
five
receivers,
receivers
man.
going into the draft. Um, who wants to go first? Y'all want me to go first or y'all got it?
Y'all go ahead. I'm not prepared yet.
Okay. You want me to go first or you got it?
You can go first. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna rank these guys and I'm gonna tell you why I have them in my top five as far as like just a one word type thing. Okay, so coming in number five, I didn't want to go with just one of them, so I went with both of them. I'm going Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper. I think that both. I think both of them are going to be good in the league. I'm not saying they're going to be like great. Surratt gives me a lot of Keenan Allen vibes. I don't know why. That's the vibe I get from Elijah Surratt. A lot of Keenan Allen. I think he's going to be sure-handed. I think he's going to be a guy that's his upside to me. Keenan Allen. I'm not saying he's going to end up being Keenan Allen because it's a drop off after my top three, in my opinion. My number four guy, and I know box office is going to say you only saying that because he torched LSU. I'm actually going with Jacoby Lane from USC, the 6'4" kid, 4'4" 40. It's not necessarily that I think he's gonna be great in the league. He's 6'4", dog. He runs a 4'4". That's what I'm looking at. And I watched him against LSU. I watched him all year, and I just think that I know you're gonna say, "Oh, Makai Lemon's on the other side," but Jacoby Lane made plays, bro. He's a playmaker. He has upside, so I have him at four because I like his upside. I'm not saying for sure he's gonna be a stud, but the upside is there for me. So he comes in at number four. Now, number three. And I know everybody on the internet's about to lose their mind. You're gonna be all right. I got Cardell Tate. And I know the factory is over there. People feel like box office that not USC, Ohio State is wide receiver U. And I get it. I get it. Cardell Tate, I'll say this. I think that he's one guy that won't be a bust. Out of everybody on the list right now, he won't be a bust. He'll be at least a solid receiver in the NFL. He won't be trash. I think he'll be a good receiver in the league. I just don't know if he'll be a number one. I think he's more of a number two, and that's why he comes in at number three, just because I don't see a number one in the NFL. If he was a number one, or I thought he could be a number one, he might be higher on my list. Coming in at number two, I got Jordan Tyson, bro. I got Jordan Tyson. Hey, I want the Saints. I'm not even mad. It's really 1A and 1B. Jordan Tyson, 6'2", 4'5" speed. But here's my thing. There's a play. I want y'all to go look it up. I think it was against Arizona. Arizona, where Sam Levin makes like a crazy play and then like he throws it up. And I think it was Arizona. It might have been Tech. It was one of them games. Um, he makes like a crazy throw, jumping up in the air. Jordan Tyson catches it, scampers down the sideline, jumps over a guy. I just think Jordan Tyson he's gonna be better in the NFL than he will be in college. He's a playmaker. He's a guy that could be your number one receiver on a field. So I got Jordan Tyson number two, but number one, 1A. The only thing that concerns me is he ran a 4.5, but I'm just talking about a dog, Makai Lemon. I just think he's a dog. He gives me that Steve Smith vibe. Like he believes the ball's in the air, you can't stop me. He has that Jamar Chase to him. He has the mentality of a number one receiver. And that's why he comes in at number one for me, because I think playing receiver, everybody can catch. Everybody can, no, I'm not gonna say everybody can run routes. Let me not say that. But you can run routes. But you got to be different mindset wise. And to me, out of everybody, he is the dog in the draft. He just has that dog mentality. And though the 4.5 does bother me, he's only 5'11". The dog mentality pushes him up to one for me. So number one, Makai Lemon. Number two, Jordan Tyson. Though that's flip flop. I just like Tyson more for the Saints because he's a bigger receiver. But that's 1A, 1B. Cardell Tate, number two receiver, in the league, in my opinion. Never going to be a number one. Could be completely wrong, but he's not. He has the least bust potential. And then Jacoby Lane just upside, and then both of the Indiana receivers. I love what Cooper did against Penn State. That catch he made on third down, I believe it was third down, um, to win the game. That toe touch, that was big time. Surratt just consistent. So yeah, that rounds out my top five, bro.
All
All
right,
right,
I'll go next. Oh, you want to go on with myself?
I can go. Um, I'll try to make quick. Similar kind of list to X. Number 5, I will go Zachariah Branch. Um,
Wow. Okay.
I I thought we could have seen a little more from him, but I thought he didn't get many shots down the field. I thought they just kept doing bubble screens and were expecting his speed to pop out. But I think he can be a really good player in the right system. Um, Number 4, and by the way, Zachariah Branch went from USC to Georgia, so we've seen some flashes there, and I just think it's the right. He needs to land in the right team, and I think he could be a stud. Number 4, I'm gonna go Denzel Boston from Washington. I wish I saw a little more from him, but he's a big body receiver, 6'4", 210. He I think has potential to be a big red zone threat somewhere. Just depends where. Number 3, I will go with Carnell Tate. Um, I think he's a great route runner, but I do agree with X. He's a number 2 in the NFL. He's not a number 1. I do think he would be great um, somewhere like a San Francisco. I think that would be an awesome fit. So I think Cardinal Tate is a really good number 2, but not I don't see number 1. Number 2 on this list, I have Makai Lemon. Every game that I watched for USC, he made plays. He was a baller. I don't know if he's a number 1 in the league, but I do like how he makes big catches and he's got great hands. So Makai Lennon, just based off the consistency that I saw. And number 1 to me is Jordan Tyson. The only thing I don't like about Jordan Tyson is it seems like he's a little injury prone. That's my biggest concern. Other than that, when he was playing, I thought he was a stud. Once again, I will say about this class, I don't think anybody's a true number 1 in this wide receiver class. I don't know if there's a true 5-time All Pro here. I don't know, but I do think it can be a lot of really good number 2s, and that's okay. Like you don't have to be a number 1. Just if you're gonna be a number 2, I don't know if you're worth a first round pick. And I
Right.
don't know if anybody here is worth a first round pick, in my opinion. I think it only you really truly believe that that player fits your scheme. If Cardinal Tate went in the first round to the Niners, I'd be like, okay, I get it. So to recap, number 5, I'm gonna go Zachariah Branch just based off the potential and the speed. 4, Denzel Boston, mainly because of the size. 3, Carnell Tate because of the route running. Number 2, Lemon just because of the consistency. And number 1, Jordan Tyson. I think he's got it all. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. I think he makes plays when he's on the field. Is just will he stay healthy? He's torn his ACL, broken collarbone, had a hamstring injury. That scares me. So I can't predict injuries, but yeah, this is my list based off if you're on the field.
All right. So here's my list, and I'm gonna say a huge pause before I start it because you're gonna know something about my list. It's all about size.
Hey yo.
Hey yo, bro. But size does matter. All right. And my number 5 is the 6'4", 210-pound Malachi Field out of Notre Dame. I know that one of y'all had on the list, big body. He goes and gets it. I don't know what his 40 time was at the combine, but I seen him. He had speed on the field, and I really think this year he was the only receiving threat that Notre Dame really had on the field, and you knew they were going to throw it out to him, and he still went and got it. That zero, that number zero was impressive in the Notre Dame field this year, and in the NFL, I believe that size translates. And I think I had to think about it. I think mainly the reason why I'm thinking about size for this draft is because I want the Saints to draft a tall receiver, a big body receiver. So it brings me to my number 4, Denzel Boston, another 6'4" receiver, bro. You can't teach it. You can't teach 6'4", bro. And he is awesome, bro. He has maybe the best hands, the best hands. I want. I ain't gonna say he has the best hands in this draft, but I know he's in the top. He's definitely top 5 best hands in the draft. Um, so I've got number 4, Denzel Boston. Number 3, I agree with box office. He's very injury prone, but Jordan Tyson, when healthy, can be arguably the best player in his draft. He's 6, not quite 6'4", but he's 6'2", and he's really, 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 really good. Number 2, Makai Leonard. He's short. He's only 5'11" in comparison to the rest of these guys. So I think that he'll be a good. I think he'll be a good receiver in the league. But I got him more as a slot. I don't think he's going to be an outside receiver at all. I think he'll be more of a slot. I think if the right team picks him, he can make an impact easily because he's shifty. So, and he does come off the screen when you do watch him. So I like it, but I got it 2 because number 1 comes out of not WRU, but WRU, Ohio State. Cornell State. He's who I want the Saints to draft. If we're going to get somebody, I want him. I want us to draft him because he's 6'2", 192. He's coming out of a place that's going to put out good receivers. He knows how to locate the ball. I like his route running. I just think he's. I think he. I don't think he's the number 1. I don't think he's number 1. And I think the reason why I want to go to the Saints is because we have a number 1. Whether we want to get it or not, we have an all play number 1. He could be a hell of a number 2. So I would like on the draft Cornell Tate if you're gonna take the receiver in the first round. Um, these other guys you could get in the second round. I don't think it's going to be a wide heavy first round. And honorable mention, I got Big Jacoby Lane out of USC. I think he's going to be a steal for somebody too in the second round. So I mean, as a recap, 5 I got Malachi Fields, 4 I got Denzel Boston, 3 Jordan Tice, 2 Makai Lemon, and 1 Cornell to the Saints at number 8.
Wow. Wow. As far as the guy that I think I'm interested to see in the league, I think Jeremy Bernard, bro. Like that's like probably my sleeper. I think he has a chance to be a sleeper. I don't think he's the guy that's in my top 5. He might not even be in my top 6. But he's on my page. I wrote him down. I wrote Zachariah Ranch, but my issue with him is 5'9" in the NFL. That to me, you're just a little guy in the NFL, and that I don't love it. 4'3", you give him that. And another guy I think that's in the late rounds that could turn out to be good. I know you're gonna be like, there he goes being an LSU guy is Berrien Brown. I do. I think Berrien Brown has a chance if he goes to the right team. He could turn out to be really good. He has speed. I think he plays faster than his 40 time too. But I'm not mad at Cardell Tate to the Saints, see, because that would give them two good receivers. I don't think neither one of them is like elite, but two good receivers. But me, I'm swinging for the fences. I'm going Jordan Tyson, even though it might end up costing me. I just think the upside there is more with Jordan Tyson. I'm not mad if you go to Cornell Tate, but if you just try to be safe, go Cornell Tate. But I'm swinging for the fences. I think Jordan Tyson just has playmaker written all over him, exciting. But if you just want somebody that's going to be consistent, be a good player, I think it's Cornell Tate. But Makai Lemon, I don't want the Saints to draft him. That's crazy. I know it sounds. I have him number one, but Makai Lemon to me, I don't know, man. He just got to go to the right team as far as. But he's a dog, in my opinion. A dog.
Guess where he'll be dope at? The Seahawks.
If he go to the Seahawks, dog, that's gonna be crazy, dog.
Yeah, I mean, but they got the right pick in the first round. He's not gonna play around. But
Dog, if McCollum didn't go to the Seahawks, that's gonna be ridiculous. My only concern about McCollum, and I will say, and I know I haven't seen it, but even with him having that dog, I can see maybe an attitude problem in the NFL if he becomes great.
yeah, I just don't like his size. 5'11" is almost 6 foot, but I'm 5'11". I recently started lying to people like I was 6 foot because you can't tell. But I'm 5'11", and if they're listing him at 5'11", he's probably closer to 5'2". so I'm thinking he may be 5'9" if they listen to 5'11". So I think that he translates into the NFL field. You're going against NFL cornerback that's gonna jam you right in the chest, and they're gonna be bigger and stronger than you, but you're just getting your feet, and he's gonna have problems getting off the ball being so small. That's why I like these big boys because they already got the size and they can compete with these NFL corners that's already there.
Right. Well, is there any other topic that y'all wanted to discuss?
Well, I'm gonna just get my honorable mention out the way. Dion Burks from Oklahoma. Every Oklahoma game I watched, he stuck out. He'd make big plays. He's a fluid route runner. Um, the only thing is what y'all just talked about. He might be a little small. He's not the best blocker, but I thought every Oklahoma game I watched, I was scared of Burks because he made big play after big play. So I do think he's flying under the radar a little bit, but I don't know if he's top five.
You see any
Uh,
all pros in this seat? I know
no,
box office said nobody is gonna be like no Hall of Famers.
nah. I don't see no Hall of Fame. I don't see no Hall of Fame for sure. All pros, I doubt it. I think that there's gonna be some good players. I think we got a couple of good players, and Tate is one for sure. Um, I got a couple of things I wanted to see your guys' opinion on. What do y'all think about the players that have left Colorado that are saying little remarks about how Colorado is, including our LA player Jordan Seaton? He kind of shooting shots at Dion, and on the flip side, how Dion responded to it. I'm not sure how y'all saw
You want me to go? You got it, box office.
But so are we talking just in general? Like, what do we think of what Colorado's, like how they operate?
what I don't know if have you heard what some of the players are saying? Like when they go to another program, how it was like play play school or wasn't a real school. Like Jordan, he got to LSU. He said, "Yeah, I came because I wanted to play real football, and it's just different here." Like they say, and I know they had another player that said had some kind of remarks about it too. That was the same effect as the other player said that he learned more in those couple weeks that he's been there. He spent his last 2 years in Colorado.
I mean, I'm not really surprised because one thing, like I said on the show a couple years ago, is I felt like Dion was more into trends instead of just winning and then talking about the trends he set. Like for example, one of the things like well, I remember Travis Hunter and them and Shadur, they were wearing like L or D on their jerseys instead of C for captain. It was leaders and
Dog.
Dogs.
dogs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't know if I really have a problem with that, but I'm just saying like win first, and then you could set some trends, and then it will grab people's attention. Like Signetti, he talks, but he has to win to back it. To so these players can say, okay, he's the truth, and now we know Signetti's the truth, right? Dion to me was kind of just focused on sometimes nonsense. I remember, I know y'all remember, a couple years ago, Oregon whipped the crap out of Colorado. I mean, it was one of those games that we were expecting. Like, yeah, I remember it was like a noon game. We couldn't wait to see what happens because at that time Colorado was ranked, and Oregon ran over 'em. And I remember Dion talking in a press conference. He said, "You better get us now. As soon as I get my recruits and stuff." Well, it's been long enough, and players and coaches like Signetti, he won national title in the Big Ten in his second year. Like, that makes Dion look a little worse. I'm not as impressed with the Heisman's as everybody else. So that Travis Hunter Heisman, I was like, okay, whatever. They didn't even make the playoffs. So I don't really care if you win the Heisman, but you don't even make the playoffs. So to me, I wasn't really crazy about that. Um, yeah, and I also think Dion kind of, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing to hire your own friends, but he hired like Marshall Falk, Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp now got dismissed. I don't know if like that's the best route. Now I get the mindset; these are Hall of Famers at their positions, but sometimes great players don't make great coaches. They,
That's
they, they
true.
don't, they don't know how to teach somebody because those players had great talents. Yeah, and they relied a lot on their talent. That doesn't make you a good coach. These players aren't as talented. So I also want to say Colorado's in the Big 12. You know, it's not like they're going up against SEC, Big 10. They're going against Big 12. That he should have won the Big 12 at least by now with knowing the knowledge that he knows. So you know, um, I'll just say I'm not surprised.
As far as the kids talking about how it was at Colorado, they're kids. They're telling you about their experience. They may be taking shots, but it's like they're kids, and that's what people do. It's like if you got a girlfriend and y'all break up, there's some girls that's gonna just chill with it, and there's some guys that's gonna chill, and there's gonna be some guys who are like, oh, she was no good, like, oh, he was no good. They're gonna tell it all, especially if they find that new person that they want to show off, and that's basically what some of these guys are doing. LSU's, the other schools, oh, they do it different over there, or they do better than what Colorado does. So I'm not surprised by it. I mean, it happens. It's sports for you, and like I said, they're young. What do you expect from them? They're not grown up, even grown. So it's really not a big story for me. That's not a big story. Um, why I can't think? You just said his name to the offensive lineman from LSU. God, I can't
Johnson.
think. Yeah.
Johnson.
Now I will tell you, and this is no shot at Colorado, and maybe that's him getting ready, for the year and starting to try to go into the NFL. But dog, pause. His body transformation is crazy, dog. Like dog, he looks like a monster right now, and at Colorado, he kind of looked like a little chubby guy.
Yeah.
I'm just being real. That's just the truth. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I get it. I get why people do what they do.
My My problem with it is that y'all, Dion, I think Dion, I don't want to say this because I love Dion. I'm not sure Dion's actually a good coach. Bro. I'm not sure Dion's actually a good coach. I think Dion's a hell of a recruiter, a promoter, um, a
you
talent
think you
talent
think he'd
scout.
be a good GM?
I think he'll be a great GM. I think that when it comes down to actually coaching these games and actually out scheming somebody when you don't have this talent, I don't think he's successful. I don't think he's there because he hasn't been successful. I think when he was at Jackson State, that's what his coaching talent level was superior at. And I believe that's because it was mainly because he knows ball. But you go against people who know ball and actually have better players than you, like you mentioned Oregon, you have to scheme to be even be in the competition in the game against them. Anytime he's going against somebody that he has to come up with a great game plan besides y'all go out there and go, he's got blown out. You know what I mean? And and I think that the people that he brought from Jackson State with him is the only reason why they were even competitive his first 2 years there. You know, those were his son and Heisman Trophy winner, I can't think of his name.
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunt. When you had those guys you brought over, that's that's why you were competitive. And now those guys are gone. And now you're recruiting people. When he first got Jordan Stevens, I was blown away because he was, if you remember, he was the number one offensive lineman coming out of high school that year, and he committed to Colorado, and he was all in Colorado. But what happened is, I think he went there and he saw exactly what I'm saying. Oh, Coach Prime doesn't know how to get you here. He don't know how to win, and neither do the other coach. Neither do his other friends around here. They don't know how to win. They're not teaching me anything. They're telling me go out there and be a dog, and I'm good enough to go out there and be a dog. But you haven't made me better, and I think that that's what happens when you get a kid in there that's superiorly he's superior physically and talented, more talented people. He can go for Colorado and after staying there 2 years, say, hey, I gotta get out of here and command a high salary to come to LSU because he didn't go down there and get better. He didn't go to Colorado and get better. He's just so physically talented. He's down there and he's still good. And this is like other guys. Like my big thing is you can't teach that. You can't teach 6'6". You can't teach. So when a coach sees a 6'6" guy, 300 pounds, and he's a mauler on the line, bring him over here. I'm gonna pay him. Bring him over here, and I bet you I'm such a good coach. I'm gonna get the best out of this guy. And I think that that's what LSU saw in him. Not so much of what he learned while he was over there. And I forget the other dude's name that said that he learned more in those 2 weeks that he was down there than he learned in those 2 years in Colorado. And I think it might be the same thing. You go down there expecting to learn, and it's not a place where you're gonna learn too much. You might as well you went there because Dion was the name, but it's almost like you went to I don't want to put the shots at you. You almost went to ULM with Deion Sanders as your coach. You know what I mean? So
Would, would Dion finish? Would Dion? I mean, I'm gonna ask a different question.
2 more years.
2 more years. Okay, so go ahead, box office. How many more years would Dion be at Colorado?
Yeah, I would see. I see 2 more years. The only other place I can see him go is his alma mater, Florida State. But will even Florida State want him? You know,
I don't
I
think
think I think they realize he can get recruits, but can he develop them? Um,
I think if he goes to Florida State, he can recruit, but he's not going to have all of this power like he has in Colorado. They're gonna they're gonna help him pick his staff
right,
because he'll be essentially a face, and they're gonna like we'll get some real coaches in here to help him.
right. I agree with that. And look, y'all know me. I'm more patient than anybody. I think in terms of coaching, I really don't. You don't have to win a national title within 5 years for me, unless you are in a situation where you had a national title roster, which you obviously didn't. But I do want to see you continue getting better, though. I mean, he was 9-4 his second year, and then he dropped back to 3-9. And I remember he even said going into the year, despite losing Shadur and Travis Hunter, he's like, "We're going to be even better." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "How?" Yeah, I was literally like, "What am I missing?" There's no way that he's there. They're better. Now I understand being optimistic, but I mean, don't be delusional. So we'll see next year. I'm afraid it might be another under 500 year. But Colorado's going to be patient with just because he's brought in so much attention and eyes to that program. But eventually, also Colorado has to say, "Look, like we're about winning and not just attention." So look, if he goes 9-3 or 9-4 again next year, that's great. But I just don't like it. I don't see much optimism there. I have no reason to. Um, I'm afraid it's going to be like a 6-6 year or something like that. Um, and it's pretty sad if he peaked in his second year at 9-4. But like I said, I'm not surprised. That's why I never really hyped him up and all that because I was just like, man, quit with all the trends and he had these cool quotes and stuff like that, but it wasn't just showing up on the field. Like I would say the same thing about Signetti. Like he's all talk, but no, he's actually winning though. Like 2 years at Indiana, which is maybe the worst Power Five football team program ever in terms of football. I mean, 2 years, two playoff appearances and a national title in a Big Ten title, and
Right.
he's beating Michigan, he's beating Ohio State, he's beating a legit
And
program.
he's the
So
hell out
yeah, so it's just if you're gonna talk, you gotta back it up. You just have to, and yeah, I'm afraid like it's gonna be like a 6-6 year something like that. So I'll say 2 more years.
The reason why I asked that is because I think this is his last year. I think
That could
this
be
is
it.
it. I think Colorado's not going to be good this year. I think, and I'm not saying he's going to get fired. He may walk away from the job. He's had his health issues. I just don't see why. I know you said I know I brought up GMC, but I just think he's good for TV. And that's no disrespect to Dion. Great on the field when he was playing. But he was great on TV, I thought. And he'll just go back to TV and just do that. But I think this has been a failed experiment in a sense. I know Travis Hunter got a Heisman, but yeah, I think this is his last year at Colorado. Somehow, some way, either he walks away or they let him go. He may walk away before the season's even over.
I can actually see that. I can actually see that. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I think Dion is he's suffering from he's still in Colorado. You still got kids to want to come to Colorado to play football. You can have all of the hippie stuff. You can have all the rappers that you want there. You can have all of their media on their jerseys, practice, and have theme songs, and you can bring them notoriety. You can have that's what he said. That's what he said in his when they asked him to address it. He was like, I think more players is left here with people knowing than than have. You know what I mean? It's like I think they're in a better place when they left than they did when they got here. And so I think that he did he did a good job of getting eyes on the kid, but I think that was better served at Jackson State. And I yeah, I said I think he could get better players at Jackson State than he can at Colorado. I really because the guys they still in I don't know if the facilities are bad, and I'm sure the Colorado facilities are better, but I don't think anybody wants to go way to Colorado, full ass Colorado. You know what I mean? And spend your next 4 years boarding in Colorado. Like it's so much that goes along with it. And I think that in Jackson State, you were at least you were in Mississippi, you were in the South. There's a good temperature there. Um, there's there's stuff to do. There's there are beautiful women. So you have a lot going for you at Jackson that you can sell to these kids. But right now you're going off of the I'm Deion Sanders thing. And here's the other thing. Do these kids know Deion Sanders by acting? These kids don't watch Deion Sanders. How many of these kids actually went back and watched footage of Deion Sanders? Or are they just going by what we say, oh man, Deion Sanders is the best corner ever.
Right.
Those people are going by what we say. Like I think I told y'all this. I gave y'all this example. I asked my students in class one day, I said, raise your hand if Mike Tyson was a top 5 boxer ever. And a majority of the class raised their hand. And I said, absolutely not. I said, he's not even a top 5 heavyweight ever, let alone a top 5 boxer. I said, you just know the name. You know the mystique of Mike Tyson. I said, but no, he said, I said, anybody who's actually watched boxing would never put him in their top 5 of boxing ever.
Right.
But, and I think that's one thing, the perception of Mike Tyson, the perception of Deion Sanders is what's selling kids on going. You know what I mean? A lot of kids be like, man, I'm gonna go over there to my daddy's kid. You know what I mean? My daddy said, oh yeah, man, you want to be a quarterback, you better go over there with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is gonna make sure everybody sees the prime team. It's not because he's such a good coach. And I think when Deion Sanders comes to your house to recruit you, you're pretty much he's going you're Colorado's in your 5. You know, it's going to be in one of your final 5 teams just because Deion Sanders came to recruit. But is he a good coach? I don't think he is, but I'm gonna just be honest, man. I like Deion, but I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's a hell of a recruiter. I think he's a great motor. He was an awesome football player, but that didn't always translate to coach.
And that's okay.
That is, yeah, for sure.
He still had a great career and a great life. Look, sometimes it just doesn't work out coaching wise. At least he got to coach his sons. You know, that's a cool experience. So, it's okay. MJ was a terrible GM. Like, you know, he still had a great life. I don't know how much it bothers MJ that it didn't work out. Maybe it does a little bit, but he needs to look on the bright side. He still had a great life in general.
Yeah, he got
MJ's blaming on them, bro. MJ, like, I even constructed a great racing team. It wasn't me.
Oh God, MJ got chill. But there was one thing you said, and I think like that tells you everything you need to know about him being a great coach. Because when you're great, it don't matter where you're at. They're gonna want to go find you. They're gonna want to go play for you. There's respect to everybody in Alabama. But people went there because of Nick Saban. They wanted to play for Saban. They wasn't going to Alabama to, oh, I want to go to Alabama. They wanted to go play for Saban. Same thing with Signetti right now. There's no disrespect to Indiana. Beautiful state, probably. I've never been. That's one state I haven't been to. But I'm pretty sure if you had the choice to pick between this state or that state, you're not choosing Indiana, but you're gonna go play for Signetti because X's and O's wise, he's a hell of a coach. Ohio State has built a reputation, whether it's wide receiver, you in some people's mind, or just putting players in the NFL. Nobody wants to go live in Ohio. Even LeBron said, "Bro, I hate going back home." So I'm just saying, if you have the guy in place, nobody minds. Colorado, my brother swears by Colorado. Like it's a beautiful place to go. It's cold, and that's not for everybody. But let me tell you something. If Colorado messed around and got rid of Dion and hired Nick Saban, boy, everybody and their mama going to Colorado play for, for the Buffaloes.
Woo!
So
That's
you have to put the
good
right
point.
person in place.
And I've been to Colorado and Indiana. I'll tell you, Colorado's a way prettier state. Like way more going on. Indiana's more cornfields. So it just like X said, was Tuscaloosa or Norman, Oklahoma, were those places ever cool? No, they made it cool. They figured it out. So same thing. I don't think Colorado, the location, is the issue here because I don't think he would do well at Florida State. I really don't. I don't think he would do well at Florida State. His alma mater, Florida recruiting, all that. I think it would be maybe a little better than Colorado, but I don't you still got to compete with the Alabamas of the world and all them. So or in general, I'm not talking just ACC, but I still don't see it. I don't think it would work out even at Florida State.
Right. Anything else that you wanted to touch on before we wrap this up?
Um. Oh, real quick, did y'all see the Wilder fight
No,
or highlights from it? I know you
I
didn't watch.
saw I saw some highlights, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't pay attention. And I love boxing, but Wilder and Joshua just make me so mad because they should have been for it.
Yeah, I don't even want to see it now though.
I would watch it. I would watch it, but it
I
ain't the
watched it,
same.
but I don't want to see it. Like I wanted to see it a couple years ago. I wanted to see
Right.
it. Like
Right.
I don't
I
want.
think I think Joshua will win.
Yeah, I think Joshua was sleeping.
I think Wilder's a one-trick pony.
But
Yeah,
that one trick could work against Joshua. Unfortunately, Joshua has been caught many times.
Right.
I think I'm with you. I would go Joshua, but it wouldn't surprise me if Wilder won because his Joshua's jaw is a little suspect.
yeah. I I the reason why I brought up the fight was because I didn't watch the fight. It just had some interesting moments. Um, I don't know if y'all saw when he well, he knocked the guy out the ring a couple times, through the ropes a couple times, but right before he got ready to knock him out the world last time, he told him he loved him, and he like told him, "I love you, I'm sorry," and he popped, he hit him, and knocked him out to the rope, and I was like, "Wow." I'm glad Wilder had this fight because the last time I watched him fight, it looked like he was fighting in Black and Coliseum over here last year. Like um he might have been fighting Northside High School gym, bro. It was like
Right. Come on, bro.
he really looked like he was fighting at a ring. And at least he went overseas and he was able to drum up some attention and have people packed out the arena for his fight. And I think that they may have helped him, but I really think he should retire. I don't want to see him fight anybody else with a name. This guy was 22 years old. Wilder is 40, if I'm not mistaken, and he was like a novelty act. But Tyson Fury is fighting this weekend. I don't want to see him fight anymore either. I think I think that the time has passed for both of those fighters, and they need to go ahead and hang it up. But I do like to see people go out and be remembered in a good way. I don't like to see them go down and just look terrible when they were at one point considered to be dead.
Right, right. Well,
But I
shout
do.
out
He only has one trick. He can't box. He cannot box. But if he hits you with that right, if he catches you, you will go to sleep. You may rise back up like Tyson Fury, like the Undertaker did. But if he hits you and catch you with it, you're going to sleep.
for sure, for sure. So if that's it, we about to wrap it up, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, shout out to y'all boys, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Shout out to Michigan, UCLA, and the Big Ten. See, man, I'm a nice guy. I'm gonna give kudos to him, man, for winning the national championship, man, this past week. It's been lit, and now, y'all, the NFL draft is coming, baby. We're right around the corner. Y'all already know how I feel about that. And the WNBA draft for box office. Hey, look, we'll box office chill, man. We'll
Come on,
chill,
man.
dog. But
Okay.
yeah, hey, bro, for sure. Big four, big four. But yeah, shout out to y'all boys, man. And shout out to my nephew. It was his birthday yesterday, nephew. We love you, brother. 18. Proud of you, man. Know you're gonna do some great things in the future.
Yeah, I'll go next. Another fun show. Next couple weeks we'll be talking NFL draft and NBA playoffs. That's what we got next in store. So we'll probably uh, do a lot more topics on those. Still an exciting time of the year, and yeah, we're gonna make it work. So look forward to talking to you all next week.
All right, man. Y'all already know me, man. My last shout outs always with my family. Shout out to Hunter Morgan, Tori, Christian, Lee, and Edward. Daddy, love y'all. I'll see you in just a second. To my beautiful wife, Patricia, I love you too. I'll see you in just a second. And to Pat Pat's baby, Marcel Carter Burnett, that is all your great friend. Pat Pat, I'll see y'all in just a second. Even if it's just on my screensaver. And to everybody that tuned in, we got over 1,000 likes on TikTok right now. People joining us live. And shout out to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be on here a lot more on TikTok, serving y'all live. Right? Boot up a show.
Hey, peace.